Good evening, and welcome to the 81st Annual Commencement Ceremony of Somers High School, the graduation for the class of 2022. You can all be seated for a moment. My name is Mark Bayer, and as the proud principal of Somers High School, it is both my honor and my very privilege to welcome you all here tonight as we gather to celebrate this outstanding class. Before we begin tonight, I would like to take a moment to honor one individual from the class of 2022 who would have been graduating along with the rest of our seniors tonight. However, she is not here with us. Although not with us today, her spirits are with us, and she is very much missed by her family and her friends. And at this point, I would ask everyone to please join me in a moment of silence as we remember Madison Bookall. Thank you. At this point, and for the final time as a senior at Somers High School, I'd like to invite our Student Council President, Megan Spencer, to the podium to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
Please rise and join me in the reciting of the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing after the playing for our national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Megan, and I would also like to thank the members of our symphonic band under the direction of Mr. Terry Reynolds. To start tonight's ceremony, there are several people that I would like to recognize who have joined us here tonight. First, the members of our Board of Education of the Somers Central School District and representatives of our administration. President of our Board of Education and parent, Heidi Cambereri. Mr. Chadwick Olson, Vice President. Mr. Nick Mancini, Dr. Ife Chang, another senior parent, Ms. Mary Rose Joseph, Dr. Lindsay Portnoy, and Mr. Joe Mara. Next, I'd like to recognize our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Raymond Blanche, our Superintendent for Business, Chris Platania, our Director of Learning, Kevin Guidati, our Assistant Director of Learning, Claire Comerford, our Human Resources Manager, the voice of Somers, Matt Carr, and our Director of Special Services, Stacey Elkanen. And my administrative colleagues are up here with me tonight. Assistant Principal and the Principal for the class of 2022, Ms. Karime Flores. And affectionately known as P-Rod, our other Assistant Principal, Pete Rodriguez. And I'll speak about him in a second, but unfortunately the other individual could not be with us tonight is our Athletic Director, Roman Catalina. And now there are another number of individuals that I'd like to thank for helping tonight's ceremony possible. To Anthony D'Amato, Carl Bleckner, and our entire custodial and maintenance crews, thank you for all the work you've done over the past month to help support our various end-of-year celebrations for our seniors, including the hours you spent putting together tonight's ceremony. Not knowing whether it would be outdoors, indoors, under a tent, not under a tent, but we'll get to that later. While today is a celebration of the culmination of a 13-year educational experience, we remind ourselves that our students graduate today not just from Somers High School, but from Primrose, S.H.S, and S.M.S as well. At this point, I would like to recognize all the educators who have made significant contributions to the academic and personal lives of our graduates, and thank our faculty and staff who have joined us here today to celebrate our seniors. I would be remiss if I didn't recognize some special individuals from the high school who will be retiring at the end of this school year. I'd like to acknowledge these individuals for their service, their years of service to Somers, and wish them well in the next chapter of their lives as they get ready to also graduate from S.H.S. Please join me in congratulating these three distinguished members of our faculty, Ms. Mary Kuzis, Ms. Mary Siebold, and our famed athletic director, who also could be the voice of Somers in that booth behind us, Mr. Roman Catalino. He's watching from local live, so say hi to Roman. On behalf of all of us in the Somers Central School District, we wish you all the very best in the next chapters of your lives. On behalf of the entire graduating class, I would like to next thank our awesome class advisors, Ms. Christy Castaldo and Ms. Mia Sinanaj. They have given so much of themselves over the last 4 years, and their dedication to this class has been outstanding, especially during these unprecedented times. I know I speak for all of our graduates tonight when I say thank you for being such incredible class advisors. And another thank you to the members of our PTSA and all the members of our Class of 22 Parent Committee for all they have done to help make these past 4 years special. With a special shout out to the chairs of the Parent Committee, Vicki Durso, Denise Donnelly, and Christine Miljovic. Thank you for all that you have done for this class. As a reminder, all guests are invited to join us for refreshments sponsored by the PTSA, the tent just to our right in front of the snack shack. And lastly, I would like to take this opportunity to especially thank my assistant, Stacy DiPasquale, for the endless hours she put into making sure that every last detail of this ceremony were seen to. Stacy, your efforts are outstanding, and we are lucky to have you here in Somers. And also to her helpers, Veronica McGrath, Missy Weiss, Susan Gambelli, Terry Kaminsky, and Teresa Pellegrino, as well as all of the members of our monitor staff and our TAs. Thank you for all the time that you've devoted to helping put this together. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce the President of the Somers Board of Education and parent of a senior, Ms. Heidi Cambreri, to address our graduates.
Good evening, everybody. I'm very honored to be standing here before you today to represent the Somers Board of Education as we extend our heartfelt congratulations to the class of 2022. You all are not just any graduating class to me. I've known lots of you for years. I've seen many of you in Girl Scouts or playing ASO soccer and at the library. I felt your pain when in the spring of 2nd grade, you looked longingly on as the new Primrose playground was built, but you never got to play on it for recess. And I marveled at your ability to adapt as you navigated a different schedule every single year of high school. I watched many of your 5th grade science night demonstrations with, oobleck and dry ice, and then I saw some of your wildly impressive senior science research presentations. All along the way, it might have felt like you were just following a path that was laid out for you, doing what the grown-ups told you to do. But you also had choices that might have put you on the athletic field, or on a stage, or at a science night table, or at a lunch table with a new friend. Little and big choices that contributed and ultimately led to your Somers High School experience. And here, too, you made choices to arrive to class on time or not, to study for that test or not, to ask that question, to try an IB course or an art class, or to go down the engineering path, to start a conversation with a new kid, or join that club, or try out for that team. And now your choices have you about to serve our country in the military, or enter the workforce, or go to college. For most of you, you've made tons of choices on your own, but that big stuff has either been decided for you or with the help of adults around you. But now that begins to change. Now you will take off from your Tusker foundation, and you will have more choices than you've ever had before. These choices, they are your opportunity to show the world who you are and what you want to be, to really make your path. Whether it's a straight path to one career or a circuitous branching path through multiple majors and universities and workplaces, it is yours, and it is yours alone. Nelson Mandela said, may your choices reflect your hopes, not your fears. So my wish for you as you head out on the next step of your journey is this: choose with hope. Choose with dreams. Choose to not just get by, but to thrive. Choose to be kind and compassionate. Choose to take chances and choose to be challenged. Choose to live the life that you want to live. Your Board of Education is proud of you. I'm proud of you. And congratulations and best of luck to the class of 2022.
Thank you, Heidi. At this point, it gives me great pleasure to introduce the first of our student speakers for tonight, the Salutatorian for the class of 2022, Hudson Shantz.
Hello there, and welcome to our teachers, administration, Somers Board of Education, friends, family, and the class of 2022. I also welcome my mom, dad, brother, and the rest of my family here with me today. I would not be here without them. Before I begin, I would like to thank the internet, Wikipedia, Quizlet, the Control-Z, Control-V functions, Steve Heimler, and Eddie Wu. It is my great honor to be the salutatorian of this exquisite class. Learning alongside those who sit next to me over the last 13 years has been a privilege. To represent this gifted class today is truly humbling. However, this symbolic silver medal and what it stands for is not what I will solely remember about my high school experience. I will not remember the tests, homework, or presentations that led to my GPA. Instead, I will remember the collaboration with my peers, the communication with my teachers, and the creativity of technology. Throughout our educational journey, it has been incredible to see the world around us evolve. The technology we use changed from the slow, small white tablets that were rolled into our classrooms in S.H.S. to strong, fast, powerful MacBooks and Surface laptops. We upgraded from blackboards to whiteboards to high-tech projectors. We upgraded from paper textbooks to digital textbooks. But through all this, our greatest assets have remained constant. Our greatest assets have always and will always be our teachers. The most special kinds of classes are the ones where our teachers are just as passionate about learning as the students. I think back to world history in 9th and 10th grade with Mr. Colaris. Mr. Colaris was never afraid to participate in a heated discussion with the students. Open communication in a safe environment between teachers and students is the best way to learn in this 21st century. I think back to 11th grade computer science class, where Mr. Soni worked with the students to problem solve. We worked as a team. We approached tasks where the solution was not known ahead of time. We communicated and collaborated to reach a goal together. As Steve Jobs said, you can have the greatest idea in the world, but if you can't communicate your ideas, it doesn't matter. This is what learning is all about. As many of you know, I often joke about the use of my social media. But in all seriousness, it is because of social media that I had the opportunity to take part in a once-in-a-lifetime journey by joining the boys' varsity soccer team on their state championship run. My Twitter account allows me to share my thoughts without fear or pressure to direct my comments to anyone in particular. I thank all my teachers, specifically my elementary school teachers, for harnessing my creativity, for allowing me to write fantasy and dystopian, for allowing me to draw outside the lines, and for allowing me to reach the answer to questions by following a different path. I want you to think about different ways you can continue to express your creativity as you graduate high school. Social media may not be your way, but I promise there is a way for you. This is what learning is all about. My most memorable and rewarding academic moments never came from achieving high grades, but instead they came from fulfilling projects. This year, in Mr. Amato's class, I was in a partnership with a freshman. A senior and a freshman working together to build a robot. We spent weeks on the project, assembling pieces of metal, screws, and wires. And finally, after constructing and coding the robot, and tons of trial and error, we got it to work. We were able to drive our robot all around the classroom. This was the most gratifying moment of my high school journey. Together, we accomplished a goal, solved a problem as partners. I used to be the type of student who dreaded group work. I preferred to work individually. But I've realized that learning to collaborate is more important than learning any formula or fact. Remember, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. This is what learning is all about. Collaboration, communication, and creativity are all skills that must be practiced. Graduates, as you move on past high school, continue to search for opportunities to practice these skills. I encourage you to work with others and not just by yourself. I encourage you to discuss ideas without fear of rejection. I encourage you to express your humor or passions, even if there is not an audience listening. Graduates, when you confront obstacles in your future, do not panic. Embrace the struggle like we did throughout high school. From having a different schedule each year to the challenges of hybrid learning and masking, there is nothing that can be thrown at your way that you are not already prepared for. If nothing else, remember this. Right now, you are the product of every decision you have ever made. Every win, every loss, every success, every failure has made you into the person you are sitting here today. From this moment on, each decision, action, and interaction will shape the person you become when you are 20, 30, 50, and 80. Be kind to each other, be accepting of each other, and most importantly, never stop being yourself. Thank you, and bye to Dick.
Thank you, Hudson. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce the senior members of our concert choir under the direction of Mr. Chris Russo, who will be performing for us tonight.
Staring at the blank page before you, open up the dirty window of the sunroom and read the words that you cannot find, reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it, but release your inhibitions. I am unwritten, can't read my mind, I'm undefined. I'm just beginning, the pen's in my hand, ending on words on your lips. Judge yourself with words unspoken. Live your life with arms wide open. Student years, where your books begin. The rest is still unwritten. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions. Staring at the blank page before you. Open up the dirty window. Let the sun illuminate the words that you cannot find. Reaching for something in the distance, so close you can almost taste it. Release your inhibitions.
Great job. And at this point, I would like to invite the valedictorian for the class of 2022 to the podium, Mr. Matthew Kahn.
Good afternoon, class of 2022. Before I begin, I would like to get all the shout-outs that I promised out of the way. So without further ado, shouts out to Declan Foley, Robert Moore, Mom, Dad, Sydney Kahn, Mr. Bear, and of course, the most perfect, beautiful, special woman in my life. Oh wait, did I say the most beautiful, perfect, special woman in my life? I meant to say my male science research teacher, Mr. William Malia. And of course, shouts out to you, the accomplished faculty and students of the class of 2022. Graduates, Dr. Blanche, the Somers Board of Education, and ladies and gentlemen, it is my sincerest pleasure to speak in front of you all today. And though it's bittersweet that this is an occasion of departure, after which we will go our separate ways throughout the state, country, and greater world, I'm confident that even while separated by great distance, together we will continue the kindness, exceptionality, and very spirit that we brought here to S.H.S. 4 short years ago. But before we part ways, I would first like to share with you all some of the lessons that I've learned here at Somers. And though the lessons that I'm about to share with you were taken during my time on the cross-country and track and field teams, you by no means have to be infatuated with running in circles, nor do you have to be an athlete for these lessons to apply to you. Teachers and parents, if you guys are still awake, this deep wisdom from an 18-year-old white kid from northern Westchester might even apply to you as well. Great credit belongs to those who greet adversity not with a sneer, but with a smile. Regardless of what your time at Somers has thrown at you, whether it be a rock, or a bone, or a proverbial hostess Twinkie, your struggle in this world is inevitable. Many rocks will be thrown your way during your short moment of life. There is no doubt about it. But if you can smile in the face of flying stones and not be too afraid to chip a tooth, surely you'll be better men and better women because of it. And in terms of smiling through adversity, there is surely no group of individuals more capable than the fine young men and women that I met on the very track surrounding this here field. Genuinely. If you turn your 2022 edition of the Somers High School Yearbook to page 125, you'll see a photo of Ryan Allen smiling ear to ear while running a 2-mile race. I'll tell you, if adversity were a person, there would be no easier way to confuse him than by presenting him with some of the runners I've met. And if Einstein was correct, that the insane do things repetitiously expecting different results, then these individuals who ran 5Ks and 8-mile long runs voluntarily, well, they were just about as nutty as you can get. Yet these confusing, frankly nutty people were some of the kindest, happiest people I've ever met. Though they sometimes ran with grimaces and through injury, often limping home rather than walking, they always limped knowing that they had accomplished, that they would sleep well that night, and that they would wake up to face life's challenges that, when compared to mile repeats or hill sprints, didn't seem all that bad. Graduates, if you want to be happy against the odds, you can't be afraid to be a little nutty and to seek opportunities of discomfort. During one particularly hot Friday of cross country, when the only things hiding our looks of exhaustion were sweat-filled COVID masks, our coaches gathered us at Primrose Field and they told us, you and your groups will run the 600-meter perimeter of this field. If you finish first in your group, you can stop and you can go home. Otherwise, you keep running until you win or you throw up. Overcome by their desire to go home, some runners fell short of first and fell back. You see, this wasn't a test from coaches to see who could outdo their teammate next to them or to see who wanted it more. It was a test to see who could withstand losing the longest. And while the smart ones on their team tucked their shoulders, quieted their temperaments, and braced for distance, the exceptional ones, yes, the exceptional ones, they began to spur their teammates forward. Though close to collapsing themselves, they began cheering on their fellow teammates with pants of, "Keep it up, man," and "You've got it," even while wasted breath was really not something that they could afford. And before long, the appraisal began to diffuse, runners began rallying each other onward, and together, we became like a sweaty, motivational carousel. One time, in Mr. Petrus's physics class, we were taught that when electrical resistors, which fight against current, are lined up in series, back-to-back in a closed loop, that total resistance increases and current has trouble flowing. Yet when those same resistors are lined in parallel, shoulder to shoulder, current can flow much more easily. More easily, in fact, than through one resistor alone. And with each additional resistor taken from behind another and put alongside it, with each component placed not adversarially, but correspondingly, regardless of the size or the composition of that particular fighting component, the burden present on all members within the loop begins to fade. And as we, the trackies, circled that field and began to work in parallel, our soreness began to seem a little less painful, our exhaustion a little less overwhelming, and the midday heat, well, it seemed a little more bearable. Sometimes you're going to need some parallel components to fight beside you. Life isn't about winning the first lap, nor is it about working alone. If you want to succeed, graduates, find people who will fail and fight graciously beside you. Find people to struggle with. Class of 2022, you are some of the kindest, brightest, and most talented individuals that I have ever met. Success in your lives is undoubted, but it will not present itself without adversity. You will face hardship, turmoil, and tumultuous times. You will see exhaustion, depression, and fear. But if you're willing to smile, if you aren't afraid to come across as a little nutty as you seek your own discomfort, if you're willing to tuck your shoulders, to brace for distance, and to find some good people to stride together throughout life with. Class of 22, you will find success. You will receive the admiration of those around you. And for your efforts, the world entire will be a better place. Thank you very much, and congratulations, graduates.
Thank you, Matt. Please join me in now welcoming to the podium our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Raymond Blanche.
Thank you, Mr. Bear. Board of Education, faculty, parents, family members, and most importantly, S.H.S. graduates. It is an honor to be here today to celebrate with you. I first would like to address all the parents and grandparents in the audience and all those who have mentored these young children sitting here before us tonight. We've guided these graduates with love, care, and compassion. We've supported them through times of adversity, cheered them on in moments of joy, and followed them through moments in their lives that made a great difference to themselves and their friends and their loved ones. There is a quote that reminds me of the importance of our roles. Short, but it reads, "We have to prepare the child for the road, not the road for the child." That is what we've been doing for the last 18 years. Together, we have prepared these young men and women so they can confidently continue their journey down the road of life. Tonight, I think you frankly heard that carried over theme about caring for one another, understanding that they will face adversity in their lives. When and where, who knows exactly. But there is a confidence that is undoubtedly heard through their voice, through their walk this evening, that they will persevere. And that is something that, again, all of you tonight here have had a small part in making that happen. Class of 2022, as you're about to close the door in high school and open another exciting chapter in your lives, I want to take a few moments today about talk about trusting yourself, understanding all the things you have accomplished despite those adversities you spoke about this evening, and getting to the point that allows you to let go and take that next step in the journey on the road that lies ahead of you. Seniors, over the last 4 years, you have stretched your mind, body, and spirit and stayed the course. You may have participated in athletics, band, theater, choir, been a member of the National Honor Society, or a school club member. You entered high school 4 years ago as young teenagers, and you are leaving today as young adults. 4 years ago, I congratulate you on your accomplishments through 8th grade, and I have the honor tonight to congratulate you on taking the next step in your journey. So today will be a closing on this facet as you head into the next part of your life. You'll walk across the stage, accept your diploma. You will no longer be high school seniors, but young men and women ready to embark on the new life travels that lie ahead. Whether the next move in your life is to head to college, to the workforce, stay in New York, or go across the country, your future awaits you. I'd like to share with you a song I found the other day as I was rummaging through some CDs. To be true, they're actually albums.
They understand that.
Yeah, okay, that's right, that's coming back. I forgot about that. And this song is about, talking about a little bit about the adversity and the travels and the road that you will hit today. So Willie Nelson had this tune called On the Road Again. And so Mr. Barrett's going to go ahead and break out. Saying, no, just kidding. Just saving that for later. So the tune is just a song called Growing Up So Fast. I just want to share an excerpt with you. What are you doing standing there so tall, looking so sure and ready for it all? What are you doing growing up so fast? Graduation day on the high school turf, the hometown pride in their caps and gowns all in a row. They call your name and you'll march up the aisle. You'll take your time, you will move with grace, and you'll walk in style. You are a picture of how things have changed. Now there's a road that lies beyond you, stretching out across tomorrow. It goes anywhere you want. There is no right. There is no wrong. Just follow your heart. Graduates, as you continue your journey and you travel down that road of life, never underestimate all that can be learned from those you meet and the experiences you have along the way. Please know the world needs you, your talents, your leadership, now more than ever. Each one of you can, and I believe will, make a difference. And as you leave Somers High School and begin the next stage in your life, keep your head high, your mind open, and always give your best. And most importantly, follow your heart. Congratulations, class of 2022. Make yours a remarkable journey.
Thank you, Dr. Blanche. I would have been much more impressed if you sang a little, Willie, but we won't hold that against you. At this point, it is my turn to share a few words with the class of 2022. Ordinarily, it's become my tradition to use this time to recap some of my favorite moments of the graduating class's last 4 years. With a good part of that time being anything but normal, needless to say, this was a bit more challenging this year. But as I sat and thought about the last 4 years with this amazing group of students, one word comes to mind: adaptability. The only class in Somers High School who lived through 4 different schedules in 4 years, this class never wavered. While your freshman year was pretty normal by all measures, but then again, when is freshman year ever normal? In your sophomore year, we decided to change your schedule and implemented a brand new schedule. At that time, a new schedule in a high school was revolutionary, as we added longer class periods, a rotating schedule, just to confuse you, and a community lunch. Yes, a community lunch where everyone ate lunch at the same time. And a lot of people said it would never work. Everyone can't wait to go back to our community lunch. Little plug. But just as we were all getting used to that new schedule, the true disruption came when in March of that year, we were all sent home to learn and work remotely for what would be the final months of your sophomore year. Then came your junior year with red days and white days, a brand new thing called hybrid learning. We've heard of hybrid cars, we've never heard of hybrid learning. We went from 55-minute classes, again, which was revolutionary, to a few months later, we went to 75-minute classes that met only half of the days in a week. We had social distancing in classrooms, hallways, and the cafeteria and commons. We had some of you who went fully remote for the entire year, and then a somewhat normal return to school in March of 2021. Of course, that's also when we took away the only time in Somers High School when all juniors were allowed to park, but you had some things had to go. Again, this class adapted, made the most of it, and persisted. Fast forward to the start of this year, and yet another new schedule, masks on to start the year, masks optional starting in February, and by the end of the year, we are lucky that school felt pretty much back to normal. And in true fashion, you adapted again to make the most of your senior year together. You were able to enjoy the apple picking trip, or more aptly, the apple throwing trip, senior ice skating trip, or more aptly for some of you, walking around with just your socks on, waiting for skates, never to actually make it onto the ice. Senior sunrise at the beginning of the school year, and just last night, senior sunset, where for a brief moment, if you looked over the baseball field, you could actually see the sun setting. An amazing prom at Green Tree with a magician, and of course, who can forget Robbie the laser robot? I don't actually know that Robbie's his name, but it fits, so we'll just go with it. This year, we were able to enjoy our fall play, where Aaron Moore had his acting prowess again on display, the spring musical with Matt Peck, Shake, Rattle, and Rolling, and all of our amazing band, orchestra, chorus, and guitar concerts with our truly talented musicians, including Ray Mandel Mueller writing an original song from the poem, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this name right, Hamatrea by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and then teaching it to the entire chorus to perform at their last concert. We also resumed our annual art show where we highlighted the amazing artwork of our artists, such as Brunin Kaminsky, and our fashion show, where we saw complete original lines from our young fashion designers like Delia Martin. And let's not forget Mr. Somers. Okay, I'll forget about Mr. Somers. No, I'm kidding. With Nate Marcus dancing to Hava Nagila and Noah Sachs talking about goose hunting. In the athletic realm, we really had a banner year, with boys soccer and football both going to states again, and soccer winning the state title. Baseball making history for the first time in Somers by advancing to the final round of the regionals. And Brian Luciano also making Somers history by qualifying for states in 2 events for track and field, shot put and discus. One of my favorite moments of this year came early on when I went to cheer on the cross-country team at the Big Red Invitational. The team had all crossed the finish line, or so I had thought, with Gabby Parisi fighting her younger sister for the top spot. I was just about to leave the field when I noticed something strange. The entire team of both boys and girls started heading towards the final stretch while cheering. I turned around to find out that what they were cheering for was their teammate, Megan Spencer, who was coming in last place amongst the 15 girls who ran that day. Actually, Megan proudly came in last place for all 3 home races that season, and each time she held her head up, being cheered on by her teammates. It was pretty awesome. And the important thing for Megan is that she finished and never gave up because of the support of her teammates, helping her with those painful last steps. Good thing Megan also throws, as she just competed this past weekend in nationals, beating her personal best in shot put. Another highlight of the year was that we finally got to go back to our Six Flags trip after missing it for 2 years. And you rode roller coaster after roller coaster well into the night, often not even getting off from the previous run, and just keep on going. Some people got a little queasy, but again, you persisted. And again, you showed that you are adaptable when, despite having an over 1-year-long contract with our tent company, we found out 2 weeks ago that they could no longer provide our tent for graduation. I was salt on the wounds, just found out that a neighboring district to the south that I might have previous connections with is using our tent for their moving up ceremonies today. I won't tell us the name of the company or the school. You can figure that out. And while we were all looking forward to returning to that tradition of graduating under the big top, instead of complaining, you rolled with it. And another moment that stands out to me actually goes back to your 8th grade graduation ceremony when, as I was sitting on stage ready to welcome our newest freshman to Somers High School, I wondered who the politician was that was graduating from middle school, only to learn later on that it was the future president of the United States, Robert Moore III. And 2 weekends ago, after watching Robert bust a move on the dance floor at prom, I am confident that his first dance at his inaugural ball will impress. In all seriousness, one thing that is clearly evident to me standing here 4 years after you all entered Somers High School for the very first time, going through a worldwide pandemic that drastically changed the very nature of schools and brought the world to its knees, is that school really matters. That your friends and the connections you make with one another really matter. That your teachers, counselors, coaches, all really matter. And that you, the class of 2022, all really matter to me. I will miss you all, but before you go, I'd like to call up a few members of the class of 2022 to help me in a traditional send-off to the class. So Matt, I'm going to take your challenge and go a little nutty. And at this point, I'd like to invite Juliana Calandrusi, Juliana Backhouse, Lily Carino, and Derek Donnelly, and Braden Barry to join me on stage.
This is the real life. This is not fantasy.
It's
graduation, your first shot at reality.
Open your eyes, look up to the stage and see.
I am your principal, you make me so happy. 'Cause in 9th you came, 12th you go. Lots of highs, fewer lows. Past 4 years have shown that you all really matter to me. To me. Seniors, your time has come. Today is your last day. Not much more that I can say. Seniors, life has just begun. You've worked so hard, don't throw it all away. Seniors, I don't mean to make you cry. You won't be back again this next September. Carry on, 'cause you all really matter. Freddie Mercury, what was I thinking? Seniors, your time has come. Send shivers down my spine. Made your teachers proud in time. Goodbye, everybody. You've got to go. Gotta leave us all behind to start your lives. Seniors, time to say goodbye. Sometimes wish you'd never leave us at all. S.H.S. senior class, what an inspiration. Fashion show, musical, soccer is the state champs. Football team to Syracuse, very, very exciting to me. Tusker Nation, Tusker Nation, here we go. I'm just a principal and I'll really miss you.
Graduates, time to start something new.
Keep working hard, it is what you must do. In 9th you come, 12th you go.
Will you let us go?
Seniors, no, we will not let you go. We'll not let you go. We'll not let you go. No, 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 no. You all really matter. Everyone can trust. You all really matter. You all really matter to us. Oh, okay. Now would be a good time, but no, 20 minutes ago would be a good time for rain. Congratulations to the class of 2022. And now, without further ado, I'd like to invite Dr. Blanche and Mrs. Cabarori back up to do the declaration of our graduates. Sorry.
Oh, thanks. So the children are so nice. I mean, they turn around and say, wow, you did a really great job. I would like to reimburse you tonight for your tickets, but I can't do that. I don't have anything. I'm sorry. So. All right. So, Mrs. Cambray, as Superintendent of Somers Central School District, I hereby certify that these young ladies and men have met the requirements for graduation for Somers High School as set forth by the Commissioner of Education of the State of New York.
Dr. Blanche, as President of the Somers Board of Education, it gives me great pleasure to declare these fine young adults as graduates of Somers High School, Class of 2022.
And now, without further ado, I present to you for graduation from Somers High School the members of the Class of 2022. I remind parents and friends that we have a professional photographer and a video of the entire graduation, so I ask you to not come forward and block others' views during the presentation of the diplomas. Also, for various reasons tonight, a few members of the Class of 22 are not with us this evening. However, they have satisfactorily met all the requirements for graduation, and therefore I will read their names as they appear in the program. Our first diploma tonight is awarded to the Valedictorian for the Class of 2022, Matthew Kahn. The Salutatorian of the Class of 2022, Hudson Jules Shams. The next diplomas go to the members of our Student Board and Student Council, Margaret Parsons. Linda Zhang. Casey Bulletin. Harton Brunkaj. Kelly Quigley. Esther Thomas. Derek Donnelly. Connor James Durso. Amanda Jen. Rebecca Herbert. And Megan Molly Spencer. Julio Abson. Kristen Nicole Acierno. Martina Adornetto. Ryan Allen. Stephen Amato. John Amir Mobasher. Diana Antonecchia. Brandon Armstrong. Dario Avila. Alyssa Baylog. Savannah Beloy. Catherine Barbarakis. Victoria Barbarakis. Braden Barry. Tatiana Bartnett. Elizabeth Bateman. Nathan Bellio. Casey Berger. Chloe Barici. Emily Bernhard. Christina Bevilacqua. Alicia Bobadilla. Isabella Jean Bocchino. Juliana Bachhaus. Jonathan Bodkin. Daniel Robert Bonner. Michael Bookall. Anita Brahimai. Joshua Brand. Matt Brennan. Colin Matthew Brooks. Kieran Brooks. Wyatt Brown. Trinity Buckler. Joseph Anthony Bergio. Juliana Calandrusi. Our next diploma will be awarded by our board president, Ms. Cambereri. Ashley Marie Cambereri. John Matthew Cambereri. Andrew Cameron. Carly Carbonaro. Ariana Carchi. Lily Carino. Michael Carlson. Elise Carnow. Nicole Casara. Jaden Cheatham. Anthony Chen. Sabrina Chung. Danny Chiconia. Nicholas Philip Cirillo. Juliana Francis Claro. Ethan Jeremy Cohen. Sean Collins. Robbie Conti. Natalia J. Corcion. Ava Kreco. Gia Kreco. Giovanni Kreco. Jade Summer Cregan. Lauren D'Agostino. Alex Dowling.
By the way, Mr. Mayor, it's pronounced Dowling.
Alex Dowling.
Dowling.
Domenico D'Ambrosio. Jaden Dunnian. Benjamin Paul DeFeo. Cole Devukai. Christina DeLeo. Matthew Dem. Michael DiFilippo. Devin DiMichelle. Laura De Palma. Daniel DiPolito. Jaden Dixon. Emily Dodd. Hunter Rose Duffy. Mark Dupuy. Kira Durham. Trevor Christopher Durso. Jake Everhart. Julia Edelman. Henry Ellison. Samantha Fabry. Dylan Fowler. Nicole Fasone. Jack Fernandez Sagbe. Nicholas Ferraro. Ella Jordan Ferriola. Christopher Festo. Declan Foley. Mitos Galliano. Tristan Gallardo. Julia Gambardella. Kim Michelle Gates. Stephanie Valerie Gillis. John Ginty. Francesco Giaffri. Joey Giorgio. Valentina Junbalay. Ella Joy Goldman. Hayden Gonzalez. Hazelyn Gonzalez. Ryan Grant. Danielle Grillo. Jack Guardino. Sarah Ivelisse Guzman. Danny Haig. Maggie Hannon. Jasmine Lee Harris. Angelica Hausman. Eliana Hausman. Alicia Hawkins. Max Heschler. Jesse Michael Heller. Liam Sean Higgins. Anya Hoekstra. Alexander Holmes. Aiden Hopper. Adam Hody. Eric Huang. Chloe Imhoff. Isabella Inziro. Nicholas Icovello. Brandon Irizzo. Gavin Irizzo. The next diploma will be handed out by our board member, Mary Rose Joseph. Erica Joseph. Kenneth Juarez Cruz. Brunin Kaminsky. Matthew Kapika. Emma Maeve Cassetta. Sean Paul Kennedy. Owen Cairns. Maria Kirichenko. Grace Raquel Kislinger. Maria Klementova. Avery Elizabeth Kosow. Genevieve Joan Krantz. Luke Henry Krantz. Ethan Kraus. Alexandra Marie Krebs. Jenna LaBarbara. Juliette Donna Labella. Amy Lynn Lasher. Tierney J. Lavin. Bennett Leitner. Kevin Lewitt. Ethan Like. Liliana Grace Lima. Amelia Julian Lopez. Scarlett Jude Lopez. Noemi Lucilla. Brian Luciano. Justin Tyler Lux. Christina Lumia. Jacob Makowitz. Samantha Mack. Natalie Marr. Gabriella Joy Mancini. Anthony Mancuso III. Lily Mendel Mueller. Ray Mandel-Mueller. Kaya Rachel Manis. Esme Manuel. Derek Marcus. Nathan James Marcus. Ian Marr. Delia Rose Martin. Eliana Martinez. Catherine Martinez. Patrick Dominic Marzella. Aiden Matteo. Connor Matthew Tillman McCooey. Christian McGrain. Patrick McIntyre. Rachel Mena. Michael Messeri. Kenneth Milani. Aaron Miller. Sophia Rose Miljovic. Mario Vincent Menudo. Isabel Eva Monticelli. Robert William Moore III. Karen Morales. Sean Charles Moran. Joseph Mule. Mars Muniz. Vincent Muniz.
Let's go!
Anastasia Grace Murphy. Emma Grace Murphy. Emma Kate Murphy. Juliana Marie Nakora. Jake Nolan. Caitlin O'Connor. Megan O'Connor. TJ Olifiers. Laurel Ouimet. Gabriella Marie Parisi. Matthew Timothy Peck. Alexander Lang Volstead Peterson. Nicholas Lang Volstead Peterson. Liam Pellig. Rosa Mia Perez. Angelina Arden Piccarelli. Danny Pietropalo. Avery Piken. Charlotte Potter. Kyle D. Ramirez. Amanda Randazzo. Antonio Randazzo. Evan Mackay Rich. Victoria Rigetti. Jake Thomas Rena. Julie Rios. Sophia Rischel. Grayson Ritchie. Andrew Robles. Sebastian Robles. Alexa Rodriguez. Gabrielle Jenna Roman. Hannah Michelle Roth. Jaden Rothschild. Lisa Heather Rothschild. Gianna Marie Ratuno. John Rublick. Zoe Rubin. Andrew Russell. Noah Matthew Sachs.
Let's go, Noah!
Alessia Scully. Bella Sky Serrano. Terrence Shalley. Archit Shankar. Laura Shea. Olivia Shea. Amelia Marie Sheridan. Jack Silverman. Juliana Sertia. Sammy Slater. Mallory Soden. Michael Salamini. William Soto. Emily Rose Davola. Hunter James Sullivan. Gabriella Suska. Charlotte Sweezy. Christopher Tomlin. Elisa Tierney. Samantha Tremblay. Isaiah Velez. James Venezia. Jacques Gerard. Brianna Elise Vitali. Dahlia Weinstein. Nick Westhoff. Chloe Wiener. Brooke Williams. Grace Wu. Eli Yates. Jaewon Yao. Joshua John Zallo. And Ali Zatola. Congratulations to all of our graduates. Let's give them one more round of applause. Before we end tonight's ceremony, we have one last tradition that we do here at Somers High School. So I'd like to invite up to the podium our president of the class of 2022, Maggie Parsons, to address her graduates.
To begin the end of this ceremony, I want to thank all the families, faculty, and of course, graduating students for coming together to celebrate the class of 2022. Thank you for making our time in the district unforgettable. How do you begin to capture 13 years in 3 minutes? Well, why not start at the beginning? Primrose Elementary School. The good old days. Ooh, pardon? All right. The good old days of pencil grips, silly bands, and computer lab time. When I tell you, my 7-year-old mind was blown when I learned that 1 + 2 = 3 is equivalent to 3 = 2 + 1, I am not kidding. You can't forget We Deliver and writing a letter to your friend across the hall, or that one time you got flipped from green to yellow on the behavior chart, which was completely undeserved, by the way. Maybe you begin with S.H.S. and all its field days, birthdays, and common rooms, which apparently no longer have the colored floor carpets. A piece of Somers history has been lost. Did you really have a true Somers Intermediate School experience if your classroom didn't become so infested with bees you had to relocate? Twice? I don't think so. At least we mastered the recorder and voted for our friends who said they would abolish homework in elections. I'm pretty sure my family has a video somewhere of that one time my friends and I performed a Valentine's Day poem at town meeting. On second thought, that should probably remain buried. What if starting with S.H.S. is the right way to go? It would be hard to forget the aromatic smell of formaldehyde wafting from the science rooms on Frog Dissection Day, or the artfulness and athleticism with which we avoided goose poop during the lacrosse unit in gym. It was then we had the Washington, D.C. trip, and although my camera saved none of my photos, I fondly remember being in awe of the Capitol Rotunda and watching a friend drink hot sauce on a dare for a nickel and then immediately regret it. You know who you are. Maybe you begin with the end, high school. I personally erased freshman and sophomore year from my memory because I was growing out my hair and it looked atrocious. Not to mention I acted like a dweeb. However, I hope you are kinder on your past self than I am. During our time here, I would be remiss if I didn't mention our grades accomplishments. We competed in international science competitions and excelled in sports. Look at how well our athletes did this year in football, soccer, track, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Isn't that amazing? Woo! We put on fantastic musicals, plays, shows, and concerts. We certainly conquered COVID with style. Now, our time in the district has come to a close. There is no right way to cover 1 decade in only a single speech. Everyone's experience was vastly different, yet that doesn't mean that any experience was or will be less fulfilling. With all you've learned in the district, you are prepared for your next step in life, wherever and whatever that step may be. So thank your teachers, hug your friends, and know that if changing the world ever becomes too wearisome, you will always have a place to return to in Somers. Thank you and congratulations. At this point, I would like to ask all of my fellow graduates to please rise and join me in the tassel ceremony symbolizing our official graduation from Somers High School. Okay? On the count of 3, please join me in moving your tassel from right to left. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class of 2022!
Thank you, Maggie. This concludes our ceremony for the class of 2022. I would like to once again congratulate our seniors. We wish you the very best as you go forward in the next chapter of your lives, and we look forward to learning about all that you will accomplish. Remember, drench yourself in words unspoken, live your life with arms wide open. Today is where your book begins, the rest is yet unwritten. Congratulations, class of 2022! It's graduation, your first shot at reality.
Open your eyes, look up to the stage and see.
I am your principal, you make me so happy. 'Cause in 9th you came, 12th you go, lots of highs, fewer lows. Past 4 years have shown that you all really matter to me, to me. Seniors, your time has come. Today is your last day. Not much more that I can say.